there. This is the World News at 12 on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Jude Ikami Jude, and this are the top stories. Gunmen hijack fully loaded vehicle, kill driver, abduct passengers in Benue. NLC writes INEC planned surprise takeover of Labour Party. Hakim Baba Ahmed advises Obi Kwankwanso against running for 2027 presidency. And Trump rules out running for third term. Details now. The World News at 12 begins on the foreign scene, where President Donald Trump has said he is not looking to run for a third term in the White House. Trump stated this during a wide-ranging interview with BBC's Meet the Press. The U.S. National Convention held in Nnewi in Anambra State, which the NLC refused to recognize. The Congress argued that Aburi's continued leadership violates an agreement previously reached between party stakeholders and the unions. Meanwhile, former special advisor to President Bola Tinubu in the office of the Vice President Kashim Shettima, Hakim Baba Ahmed, has suggested that former presidential candidates of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, Rabiu Kwankwanso, should not run for the presidency in 2027. Baba Ahmed said Obi and Kwankwanso should step aside for the younger generation alongside Tinubu and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. He maintained that their generation no longer has anything to offer Nigerians. In the meantime, the National Assembly has urged the Supreme Court to dismiss the suit filed by 11 People Democratic Party's governors challenging the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State. The federal legislature, in its response, contended that the plaintiff's suit was procedurally flawed and lacked merit. The National Assembly said this in a preliminary objection dated April the 22nd, 2025. It urged that the court lacks the jurisdiction to entertain the suit and should allow 1 billion naira in costs against the plaintiffs for filing what it termed as a frivolous and speculative suit. You will recall that the National Assembly ratified the President's declaration through a voice vote. In their reliefs, the plaintiffs sought the declarations that the President cannot lawfully suspend or interfere with the office of governors and deputy governors or replace them with unelected nominees under a state of emergency. Some graduates from public tertiary institutions have raised concerns over the delayed disbursement of student loans, revealing that funds were sent to their schools months after they had already graduated. They have also continued to receive 20,000 naira monthly upkeep stipends despite no longer being students. In separate interviews with journalists, the affected individuals explained that while they had applied for the Nigerian Education Loan Fund before graduating, disbursements were delayed, forcing them to seek alternative means to pay their fees. To their surprise, the loans were eventually paid to their institutions long after they had settled the fees themselves and left the school. The student loan scheme has recently come under scrutiny after the National Orientation Agency alleged that some institutions were profiting illegally by making fraudulent deductions from the loans disbursed. According to preliminary findings by the ITPC, while Nelfund released 100 billion naira loan, only 28.8 billion actually got to applicants, leaving a staggering 71.2 billion naira unaccounted for. Nelfund's Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, CEO Akintunde Sawyer, has insisted that no money is missing from the student loan scheme. You are currently listening to the World News at 12 on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. After the break, we'll bring you the news analysis segment. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. We're now being joined by Peter Anosike, who would help us understand what exactly is happening. Good to have you join us, Peter Anosike.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's look at first the Labour Party. The decision of Labour Party, the decision, or rather, of the NLC to take over. Labour Party is. Well, I would want to ask you: do you think is in the best interest of the party? Some will tell you that the party is can be considered dead. What do you think?
Well, for me, the judiciary and the INEC is helping APC to destroy all the parties in the opposition. I want to repeat what I said.
Okay.
The judiciary and the electoral body INEC is helping APC APC to make the parties in the opposition very weak, because the kind of decisions, the kind of judgments that INEC is, the Supreme Court is giving these days brings confusion to the political parties. An instance, the decision that political issues, understand, are party affairs. Understand me? In the issue of Labour Party, the Supreme Court said that the appeal court has no jurisdiction to entertain the case because it is a family affair. But they did not say if Julius Abure will continue to be the national chairman of the party or not. Understand me? So this is the confusion. I know that in the issue of ABGA, at a point in time, because INEC has a website where they publish the names of the national chairman of the parties. I know that in the case of ABGA, at a point in time, it was Edozie Njoku that was there as national chairman of ABGA. Then until Supreme Court now gave a judgment that Sylvester Okenwa is the national chairman of ABGA. At that point in time, INEC removed the name of Edozie Njoku and substituted and now add that of Snai Okenwa. Understand me?
Of course.
So that was a clear judgment. Understand? But in the issue of why the confusion in the party is still festering, so everybody know that the inner-week convention of LP was not monitored by INEC. INEC is the regulatory body of these political parties, and any convention that they did not monitor is not authentic. So the inner-week convention of Labour Party was not monitored by INEC, which means it's null and void.
Null and void.
It's null and void. So Julius Abure, by that, is not the national chairman of ABGA. But because of the way that Supreme Court is giving this judgment, that's why Julius Abure is still hanging on. Even right in his mind, he knew that he's not. So there's nothing left than for NLC to take over, because there's confusion already.
For NLC's takeover, the NLC has repeatedly, accused the current administration of focusing on power politics rather than governance. Can one say the same of NLC in this case, where they are fighting to take over, a party rather than focusing on fighting for Nigerian workers?
Well, why it was formed is the welfare of Nigerian workers. But mind you, the Labour Party everywhere in the world, even in UK, is about other people. But you cannot exempt yourself from politics, because politics regulates, directs every other issue. When you say you are not a politician, or politics doesn't concern you, they will impact on whatever you are doing. So that's the reason why NLC, Labour Union, decided to form a political parties. as a way of controlling the organs of the government.
Okay.
So, but with the Supreme Court judgment causing confusion, because now, when this judgment was given, the caretaker committee headed by Nanade Osman, or the former finance minister, commended the judgment, but Abure did not, because he knew that it is against them. But with the confusion, there's no clear-cut way. That's why Abure is still there hanging on. And for me, NLC should go and throw him out anywhere he is. That's my position. Because he is an agent of the ruling party trying to destroy
so
property.
It means you are in support of NLC takeover of the party?
Anything apart from Abure. Because Abure is an agent of APC. Abure is working for APC.
So what would you say about Lamidi Apapa?
Those are the agents. This Arabambi Apapa Abure. The committee under Abure are all paid agents of APC. Understand? So as long as they are there, the party cannot move forward. As long as Abure and his so-called committee are there, the party cannot move forward.
Would you advise a person like Peter Obi to remain in the party?
Well, I keep on saying that Peter Obi is an adult. You don't tell, and Ibade say you don't tell an adult to go out of the sun, because it will be seen as an insult. So Peter Obi should know what is good for him.
Let's look at some of the stories mentioned in the news. You know, you hear Baba Ahmed, you know, saying that Hakim Baba Ahmed saying that the likes of Atiku, the likes of Tinubu, Peter Obi Kwankwanso should not run, you know, in 2027. If the North doesn't want Tinubu, Atiku, Obi or Kwankwanso in 2027, who then do they want?
Well, for me, I'm beginning to question the sanity of Ahmed. I don't know what is really going on inside his head. Understand? Peter Obi is 62. Peter Obi is 62. And Kwankwaso is in his 60s. So if he says that Atiku shouldn't run, because in 2027 Atiku will be almost 80. Understand? If he say that somebody like Atiku shouldn't run, that somebody like Tinubu shouldn't run, I don't know what he sees why Peter Obi and Kwankwaso should not run. What is his name? Yahaya Bendo ran as a youth, but he was the worst performing governor in his term. So for me, it's not a matter of age. It is not a matter of age. It's a matter of the person, the character of the person. Understand? Because if we use Yahaya Bendo as an example of youth candidate, then next 100 years people begin to rule this country. That's my stand.
Amongst all these names mentioned, why did you single out Peter Obi?
I say Peter Obi and Kwankwaso are in their 60s.
Okay.
Understand me? So they're not up to 70. They are still mentally active. Understand me? They are still physically active. Then why should they not run? And Baba Ahmed doesn't have that power to determine who should run and who should not run. The constitution of the country qualifies everybody to run, as long as that person is not a convict. Understand me? So, constitution does not disqualify Atiku, does not disqualify Tinubu as we speak, until the FBI CIA report comes out. So, for now, he had not been convicted, he had not been indicted. Kwankwaso the same thing, Peter Obi the same thing. So, nobody gave Baba Ahmed that power to decide who to run and not that to run. I don't even think that he knows what goes into into running for an elective position in this country. The money involved is not what a 30-year or 40-year-old man or woman can do. The money involved in running for the office of the president in Nigeria is not what a 30 or 40-year-old boy or old man can do. Where did he get that money? Understand me? So because to run for the office of president in Nigeria is the highest in the world. Understand me?
Okay.
It's the most expensive in the world. In the world. Understand me? So it's not what a 30-year, 40-year-old person can do.
Peter Nosike, the National Assembly is demanding 1 billion naira, in counter suit against PDP governors. I don't know how you look at it. Is it that the National Assembly is trying to say that the PDP governors are wrong for, that suit?
Well, I don't know which festivity is coming. We just had Easter, so I don't know which festivity is coming next because Akpabio may need that to send some prayers to some people's emails.
Okay.
Understand me? The issue is this: the governor, some of them are learned. They went to court to challenge an unconstitutional matter that the president executed, because Tinubu has no power in the constitution. That section 305 did not talk about removal of a sitting governor.
Okay.
So the governors has every right to challenge it, and that's what they are doing. But we know that people are saying that the National Assembly is an extension of the executive. It is not an extension. It is a department of the executive. The National Assembly is a department of the executive. So they carry out the orders of the executive. So maybe somebody, it could even be Bajabi Amina,
okay,
that told what's his name, Akpabio, say this thing. Understand me? Because they cannot take any decision that's on their own. They are just puppets. They are just puppets. So maybe it could be the Bajabi Amina or Akume that said this thing. They have gone to court. They are in court. Let the Supreme Court decide. Even though I don't have any iota of confidence in the Supreme Court, they are as corrupt as company seats as the National Assembly.
Peter Nosike, let's talk about student loan. Student loan is actually a very new initiative, so to speak, in Nigeria. How come it is already...
No, but... Bursary awards is another form of a student loan.
But now it has been repackaged as giving out student loan, basically. Bursary, we know, is just a way of, some individuals getting across to their people.
No, some states.
And
as a way of helping those students.
Of course.
Which is the same thing that this student loan is supposed to do.
But now it's now a government, it's not
a national
thing.
It's
now already, fraught with so many, malfeasance, as alleged. What's really going on?
Well, from what you read, student loan is for students, not for graduates. Understand? So student loan is for students, not for graduates. So I don't understand why people who have graduated will still be seeking for students loan. For me, it doesn't make sense.
Then, if the NEL Fund CEO insists that no money is missing, then where is the money? 71.2 billion naira.
Well, the country, we don't have data in the country
to track that.
We don't even know the number of university students that we have. We don't have the data of the number of polytechnic students that we have. We don't have the number of secondary school students. But in the other countries, by a press of a key that's on a computer, it comes out. That's where countries that have data. So there's no way you can trace this money to know whether it is missing or not. Understand me? So ICPC is saying that over 701 billion were diverted. So, but the Nile Fund board said that no money is missing. So me really I don't know, but I don't know.
Okay, Peter Nosek, I want to say thank you so much for being part of the News at 12.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Well, that's it on the World News at 12. Just before we wrap up, let's take a look at the top stories again. Gunmen hijack fully loaded vehicle, kill driver, abduct passengers in Benue. NLC riots INEC, planned surprise takeover of Labour Party. Hakim Baba Ahmed advises Obi Kwankwanto against running for 2027 presidency, and Trump rules out running for third term. And that's the wrap on the World News at 12. The news was put together by Chioma Innocent. My name is Jude Ikami Jude. Do follow our social media handles at VOP 90.3 FM. Good afternoon and thanks for listening.